Hey guys, welcome back to part 3. I got a couple of things I want to show you, but first, we hit our first wall, especially with electrics here. So, if you remember, I said that the key cylinder, right, the guy had lost his keys, so he broke the key cylinder, and basically was hot wiring the bike every time he wanted to ride it, which is fine, whatevs. I got a new key cylinder. I didn't realize either, but you can tell the handlebars have actually been pulled back. There's actually like a 3-inch pullback kit that's been installed. I guess the person was kind of short or something like that owned it before. But anyway, that's why there's a alignment up there. I'll fix it when I put the Clubman bars on. Anyway, so I'm trying to see. I've got a new set of keys in there. I'll show you that in a second too. And I was trying to just see if the dash would light up. Obviously, I'm not going to try and fire it. The carbs aren't in place. Blah, 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 blah. Infinite number of problems between here and there. But I just wanted to see if I could get the dash to light up just to make sure that everything's wired correctly. So I've got the battery in place here. I've got the ground there. And when I turn the key, nothing happens to the dash. And so like for down here, for example, I'm going to connect it to where the power meets the starter solenoid, right? So, oops, sorry, trying to get a good contact. There we go. With a good contact, there we go, 12 volts, right? And that's what we want, obviously, right? We want a good 12 volts coming out of there. It does. And if I come over here to where they hot wired it, okay, there's the part where they hot wired it. Let me see if I can get a good contact with that. And it's dancing around because it's not, there we go, 12 volts there too, okay? So that's good. But if you look at where they did the hot wiring, see if I can get a good focus there. They put a nut right there, and then here's where this should actually be attached, right? It shouldn't be way out here in the distance. It should actually be attached here. And the problem with that is now there's a lot of rust in between. And if I touch the node here where the rust is, I'm getting some juice, but very, very little, right? So I feel like maybe that's part of the problem is it's actually essentially degraded so much that it's actually not making good contact and won't do the firing that it's supposed to. So I'm going to take that off. Obviously, I don't want to hot wire it anymore because now I have a key to it. But anyway, just want to share that with you as the first of probably many problems that will happen with the electronics. So, and here's the wires. Here's the wires they were using. Both of them the same color, which I don't know why you'd hot wire with two colors that match, but whatever. Anyway, let me show you this. Another thing I got done is I took apart the rear end here so you can kind of see the background, right? So now there's not this ugly hump at the back end, right? So took that off, also took off the rear wheel guard like this. I know you're gonna be like, oh yeah, but it's gonna shoot mud and water everywhere. Yeah, if I rode in the mud and the rain, but I don't. So anyway, that's done there. I power washed the bike, which there's still all this crappy blue and there's a lot of rust, but it looks a lot better. Gave it a good power wash. The rear hoop came in the mail. Here it is here. So it's actually got an integrated LED turn signal built into it. So there's the stop and then left and right, or left and right, wherever, like so. One disappointment is it didn't come with little like dowels or plugs like this, so I can help strengthen this up. So I'm gonna have to put a couple of those in there. And if you'll notice, it is slightly out of round. So there's probably, this one is kind of out of angle by maybe a half an inch, quarter of an inch maybe, like this. So I'm gonna have to bend this back a little bit, but otherwise it's a perfect fit for what I need. And here's the wires here. It does have a slight kick up to it, so it's not a perfectly flat one, which I like that. The other thing is too, they did not deburr where any of the drilling or cutting took place. So the wire that exits, like so, all of this is quite sharp steel. So given enough time, it'll actually wear through that. So I think I might actually just take some hot glue and fill that in to where it kind of keeps it from moving at all. And then the other thing, as I said, and hopefully I did it right, but this is where I did the wiring for the new key cylinder. As I said before, the plugs didn't match because it was a 4-into-4 previously, and now it's a 3-into-4 anyway. So essentially, it's got all the same connections. And I used the heat soldering shrink wrap like this, or shrink tubes, whatever the hell it is. Anyway, you get the idea. Like so, and then up here, as I said, I put the new key cylinder in. It's in an off position, obviously, but as I was saying, this is actually meant to be here so that this round part goes over this, but somebody, I guess, was a bit shorter when they had it previously, so I'm gonna pop this off, and then when I put the Clubman bars on, they'll go into the normal standard position. I did clean the gauges, and look at how nice those look, man. I mean, I know I need a little bit more work here, and the casings are bad, but the lenses on them, I think, turned out really well. So I was pleased with that. Anyway, so that's going to be next steps, is figuring out how to how to reconnect this as if it was factory as opposed to being hot wired every time. Should be okay. I think if I make that change, I already double checked, the battery is hot, and as you saw in the video at the beginning, there is current getting to the where it needs to on this side. It's just a matter of where it goes next, and clearly it's not moving as it should. So hopefully if I address that, it'll send it up to the front like it needs to. We'll be able to see the dash, and then hopefully what I'll do is get the tail lights wired too, so give that a test. And the carbs are almost done. I've still got a couple parts soaking on that, but hopefully we'll have that done too soon. But hey, thanks for all your support, guys. I really appreciate it. If you have anything, any ideas, if you saw anything where you're like, oh my gosh, that's what he needs to do, please do tell me. Like this bike is new to me. I haven't worked on a lot of Yamahas before. So please, I invite your comments and your support. So just let me know if you see something or have any ideas on how I might correct what I'm experiencing here. So thanks for everything, guys, and we'll see you on the next one.